What's up everyone, Alex here, and welcome back to another identity talk. If you didn't know, I always bring this up, but if you did not know, I have a dissociative disorder, so you will probably not understand this video at all if you did not watch the video on me talking about having a dissociative disorder. So if you haven't seen that video, I don't know if that'll be... It might be on the end card for this video. If not, I'll try to remember to link it below. I really try to reference older videos now because I've got so many identity talk videos that sometimes you just need a recap instead of me continuously repeating myself in videos. I think the best way is to just tell you, hey, go see this video, and then when you're done, come back so that you've got your refresher and you know what's going on. I guess the main topic, how having headmates with varying attractional identities, is that even the way to say it, how that affects my own sexuality, because I recently talked about a huge overlap in different aspects of my identity, having headmates and how that affects my gender. We're talking about sexuality now, talking about being otherkin and how having non-human headmates might play into that, and just so many parts of me working together and blending together is basically what we're covering, as well as just talking about sexuality in general, like my own experiences with it in a little bit more detail, at least in the context of having a dissociative disorder. Like I said, go see the previous video about being plural, being a system. There's different terminology for it, but it's basically more than one identity, more than one entity residing in one body. So I have two headmates, Avery and Austin, and they experience gender and sexuality to such varying degrees. And I feel like wherever that overlaps or wherever that blends, I feel might be where I reside, but I'm not actually sure. It makes it sound like one headmate is on one end of the extreme and the other one's on the other end, and I'm kind of mild in the middle, but it's not quite like that. But sometimes it seems that way, at least the way that I tried to explain it there. It's hard to explain. It's hard to quantify that sort of thing. So I guess the best overview: Austin, definitely some kind of omnisexual. I want to say that's probably the best way to describe him, but also possibly aromantic. I never wanted to place labels on others, just because, if they haven't said so themselves, it's really not my place to do so. But I feel like that's probably the best place to describe where Austin is at as a person. Avery is asexual, has no interest in sexual attraction or in sexuality, but strangely has shown attraction to women. So sorry about that noise. That is somebody on their lawnmower next door, which is really great. That's picking up right in the mic. I can see it right there. That's cool. Well, sorry about that. I have neighbors and walls made out of paper. So yeah, Avery, kind of the other end of the spectrum, I guess, definitely not aromantic, but definitely asexual. And I'm kind of stuck in the middle of those two things, where I don't know if I'm gay or bisexual. Never really was sure on my attraction to women, and not really sure if whether or not I fall within the arrow spectrum, I guess, the aromantic umbrella, I guess. It gets confusing sometimes, and I want to say that having the dissociative disorder definitely affects that, like, it causes that confusion, I guess, because it's like, well, is this just like a part of me that experiences this type of attraction, or is it just me, like actual me, experiencing this? That's the biggest struggle that I have with this kind of issue. How it affects me. So I had said that Austin is omnisexual, and I guess for a little bit of TMI that I'm not even going to go into detail, I feel like Austin influences hypersexuality in myself. He's a very strong sexual driving force. He's also aromantic, which is why I have questioned whether or not I'm nebula romantic, which I think I explained in another video. It just means, like, not sure if you are experiencing romantic attraction due to being neurodivergent. But I will be doing a video on that, on hypersexuality and on nebula romantic attraction, because I think that's super important to get into. But that's that end of the spectrum. And then Avery is asexual, which has no effect on me, but they're also attracted to women, and I've realized that a very small fraction of me is attracted to women, but my preference has always been men and non-binary people. So, that makes me wonder if that's where I get that type of attraction from. Is it because of Avery influencing my sexual attraction, or is that something else, just more me than anything? I was never sure on that. And I mean, much like my gender, I feel like having a dissociative disorder affects my struggle with finding labels for the types of attraction that I experience. I did talk about how plurality affects my gender, which kind of goes hand in hand with this kind of video. So I also recommend watching that if you're interested. And I mean, it still goes into that same idea of these different facets of myself overlapping, blending, or otherwise influencing my own identity. I mean, I still consider my identity, the parts of my identity, to be, I guess valid. I still consider them to be valid, whether or not I have a dissociative disorder. I can't dismiss, I can't dismiss the possibility of being demi-romantic by saying, well, I mean, one of my headmates is aromantic, so I mean, I guess that's where that's coming from, and I don't have to worry too much about it. I would never place it into that kind of context. I think it's important that I embrace this as being me no matter what, and trying to just find language that helps me describe what I'm experiencing. Sexuality has always been just as messy for me, or even more so than gender. I've never had a real grasp on it. I identified as pansexual for a while. Well, I thought I was exclusively same gender attracted for quite some time, and then I was like, oh, well, gender doesn't matter to me, so I must be pansexual. And then I realized that I do have preferences, which I guess pansexual people can have preferences, but I think mine are distinct enough that it wouldn't fall under pansexual, or rather, pansexual doesn't really fit for me personally. So I started calling myself bisexual, which, I mean, it's not necessarily a 50-50 split for something like that, and it's not necessarily every gender for me. It's just, that's the best I could do. I mean, I talked about sexuality. I'll probably cover it again. Just sexuality in general, going back over what I talked about in a previous video and what I'm learning now, now that I have started this channel and started talking about identity and labels, and given myself time to really think about it. I want to like start revisiting topics like that. So sexuality is definitely on the list for that. I feel like my attraction to just any one gender, my attraction in general, my experience with sexual and romantic attraction, I feel like maybe it fluctuates, maybe it's fluid. There is a word for that, which is abrosexual, and it just means like a fluctuating sexual or romantic identity, orientation, I guess is the word for it. But like, that's not very, abrosexual is not specific. It doesn't talk about a baseline, because like baseline, I'm same gender attracted. I mean, baseline, I guess I'm gay. But then having like other parts of my my sexual or romantic orientation fluctuating, abrosexual does not really cover what that is. It's not specific enough for me. So while it technically falls under that, my experiences technically fall under that, I don't think that would fit like for what I need, I guess. I'm looking for specific labels, specific language for my experiences, and it seems like sometimes I get it pinned down. I go through these phases where it's like, okay, I need something like a micro label, something hyper specific that covers everything. And then there's other days where it's like, I'm just going to say I'm gay. Like that's kind of what I've been doing nowadays. I haven't even been saying bisexual. I've been saying, yeah, I think I'm gay. But I don't know. That's the thing. It's so strange to have that kind of struggle. Because I mean, I thought I had it all figured out, but it seems like things change a lot for me. And I know that, like, I don't have to overthink it so much. I don't know who I'm trying to impress with specific labels for everything, but I feel like it's necessary. I feel like learning how to navigate having a dissociative disorder and having parts of my identity influenced by that, I think it's still necessary for me to explore and to find language that explains exactly what my experiences are. I think it's necessary for anyone to at least like take a moment to think about that kind of stuff about themselves. Though for a lot of people, broader labels work. For some, they're looking for something more specific, which is kind of more what I'm dealing with. But yeah, I mean, it gets complicated. It gets messy. I realize that this particular episode ended up being pretty short. I thought that I'd have more to expand on. I've talked about sexuality in the past, but not in the context of being plural or having headmates. But I guess it's because I did away with some of the specific, specific stories, specific anecdotes about like these like talking points, I guess. I don't really go into a lot of detail with like attractional stuff. I'm usually pretty conservative about that. I don't know what the word would be. I don't think conservative is the right word, but I try not to overshare. But yeah, today I guess this video is a little bit short. I am trying to drag it on, but this particular one's going to be short, but there's going to be other videos this month that you can look forward to. But question of the month: does any aspect of your neurodivergence affect your experiences with attraction? Comment down below with your experiences, with your stories, your thoughts, feelings, whichever, and I will be replying to every one of those comments because that's just what I do. I reply to every comment that makes it onto my channel. Sorry, I am closing up my notebook here. Yeah, I have this cool space-themed notebook with constellations and stuff, and this is what I use to, I guess, write the specific outlines for for identity talk, very specifically identity talk and nothing else. Like nothing else gets written in here, though I am drafting a series that I want to do with my boyfriend Justin. So that is in here. I don't know when that's even going to be a thing. I don't know if that's a thing by the time I upload this video, but I'm planning a podcast series. I do want to put some 18 plus content on this channel, obviously with warnings and whatnot, but just to broaden my audience. But otherwise, it's still gonna remain a general audiences type channel, and then I guess you can choose to watch the 18 plus stuff, and I mean, it's just giving people more options and appealing to a larger audience, because I think that would be pretty cool to get some older folks on here as well. So there we go. That's the topic for today. Next month's going to be a similar topic about attraction and all that, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, I am signing off for now. See you later.